What if we've been surrounded by language our entire lives and never knew it? Dolphins clicking, bees dancing, elephants rumbling at frequencies we can't even hear. For centuries we called it instinct. We called it noise. We were wrong. Right now, in research labs across the world, artificial intelligence is being trained on animal sounds. Not to mimic them, not to play them back, but to decode them. The goal is extraordinary, and scientists believe we may be closer than most people think. Here's the core problem AI researchers are trying to crack. Animals communicate, that much we've always known. But communication is not the same as language. Language has structure, patterns, rules, meaning that changes based on context. For decades, we assumed that only humans had that. AI is now challenging that assumption with data. Specifically, massive amounts of recorded animal vocalizations fed into machine learning models trained to find patterns humans could never detect manually. But here's where it gets complicated. Human language has a feature called displacement, the ability to talk about things that aren't here right now. We can describe yesterday, plan for next week, tell a story about something that happened somewhere else entirely. Very few animals show signs of this. Bees are one of the rare exceptions. The other challenge is context. The same vocalization can mean completely different things depending on who's speaking, who's listening, and what just happened. AI has to learn that context, and that requires enormous data sets gathered over time. There's also the question of whether animal communication is even meant to be decoded by outsiders. Some researchers believe certain signals are intentionally private, chemical, tactile, or visual in ways we can barely measure. So where does the research actually stand? Project CETI, the Cetacean Translation Initiative, is one of the most ambitious efforts ever launched in this field. CETI is recording thousands of hours of sperm whale clicks, called codas, using underwater hydrophones and AI-powered tags attached to the whales themselves. Sperm whales were chosen deliberately. They have the largest brains of any creature on Earth. They live in multi-generational family units, and their codas appear to vary based on who they're talking to. That's not random noise. That's social structure and sound. CETI has partnered with linguists, cryptographers, and machine learning engineers because decoding a new communication system is not just a biology problem. It's a code-breaking problem. Separately, a team at UC Berkeley used AI to analyze the calls of prairie dogs and found something remarkable. The animals appear to have distinct words for different predators, different descriptions for different humans approaching the colony, including, apparently, their size, their color, and how fast they were moving. That's not a warning call, that's a description. And in 2023, researchers using AI to study bat communication discovered that Egyptian fruit bats appear to argue. Not just make alarm calls. They argue about food, about sleeping spots, about who gets to sit where, context-specific disputes recorded and decoded by machine learning. The AI identified over a dozen distinct argument types. That's syntax, that's nuance, in a bat. If AI can genuinely decode animal communication, even partially, the implications are staggering. Conservation would be transformed. Imagine knowing exactly when a whale pod is distressed, when a forest colony is detecting a threat, when a reef is dying from the sounds of the creatures living in it. We already know ocean noise pollution is disrupting whale communication. We just don't know how much of their conversation we're erasing. If we can listen, truly listen, we might finally understand what we're taking away. There's also a harder question this research is forcing us to confront. If animals have language, real language, with grammar, context, identity, and memory, what does that mean about how we treat them? That's not a science question anymore. That's a philosophy question. And AI is forcing us to ask it. We've spent thousands of years assuming we were alone in our complexity, alone in our ability to grieve, to plan, to name things. What if we weren't? What if the oceans and forests have been full of conversation this whole time? And we just didn't have the tools to hear it. We do now. The question is, what are they going to say?